For centuries, the world was measured in stone and bloodline. Power was a stationary thing, rooted in the gilded halls of the East and the rigid etiquette of the great courts. It was a landscape of absolute certainty, where one's place was ordained by birth and maintained by a delicate, often deadly social choreography. But as the sun began to set on the imperial age, the foundations started to crack. The opulence of the Tsar's court, once the very definition of forever, became a haunting relic. The last of this crumbling era were faced with a choice: to vanish into the footnotes of history, or to carry their fire across the sea to a world that didn't yet know their names. The transition was more than a change of geography. It was a metamorphosis of the soul. These survivors traded the heavy, incense-laden air of the cathedrals for the salt spray of the Atlantic. They arrived in a new world stripped of their titles, but armed with something far more potent: the discipline of those who have seen the end of the world and refuse to blink. They moved westward, following the trail of the sun until they reached the edge of the continent, a dusty, sun-drenched outpost called Hollywood. Here the rigid hierarchies of the past were replaced by the fluid alchemy of the silver screen. In the fog of the Hollywood hills, the old world didn't die, it was reimagined. The courtly intrigue of the palaces was translated into the fierce competition of the studio system. The obsession with image, legacy, and public mask-wearing found its modern sanctuary in the lens of the camera. The outcasts became icons. They realized that the spotlight is merely a modern throne, and the audience the new nobility. They traded the velvet of the Winter Palace for the celluloid of the Dream Factory, proving that the essence of power isn't where you stand, but how you endure the transition. From the ashes of empires to the glow of the marquee, the story remains unchanged. We are all travelers between worlds, navigating the distance between who we were and who we must become. To outlast is to reinvent. To stay relevant is to keep moving, because in the end, the only thing more permanent than a crown is a legend.